What's up, everybody? It's the Microwave Files. It's Sunday. You know it's late in the NFL season, so we got some good games coming up for y'all. Let's get you started. So, first game we got the Bills at the Eagles. Everybody knows about the whole Chip Kelly, LaShawn McCoy story, so I'm not really going to go into it. All I'm going to say is that LaShawn McCoy is going to have a lot of rushing yards today. I think he's going to definitely do some damage. I could see the Eagles winning this one uh, in a tight game, but I think LaShawn McCoy, his efforts are going to be enough to get the job done. I think ultimately the Bills win this in a tight one, 24-21, due to LaShawn McCoy and that bad man behind there, Tyrod Taylor, who, by the way, is one of the best quarterbacks in the fourth quarter in the NFL. Next game, we got the Titans at the Jets. Jets really need a win bad right now because they have a lot of tiebreakers that they lost with a lot of AFC opponents. And I just think on this day at home, as long as they have most of their horses, I think they'll win this game. I think Brandon Marshall's going to have a big game against that Titans defense. It's a little suspect. And ultimately, they get the job done. They maybe catch a couple touchdowns. I think the final score is going to be around 31-20. I just think the Jets are a better team right now, and they're a little hungry. And next game, we got the Steelers at the Bengals. Ooh, that's a good game. You know the Steelers need this win, man. And I know the Bengals want to get this win because they want home field advantage. I got to go with the Steelers, man. I know the Bengals are going to come out fired up, hyped, because it's a division opponent, it's a conference opponent. It's like, oh, we need to win this game, just like the Steelers do. But the Steelers actually need to win this game to get into the playoffs. And I think that with the combination of Ben and Antonio Brown, I gotta go with the Steelers, man. I gotta go with the Steelers, and I gotta go with the final score of 35-28 Steelers. I just think that they'll get the job done. I think their offense is a little bit better than the Bengals, and even though I know the numbers say otherwise, and I think ultimately they outscore the Bengals and they get the job done 35-28 in Cincinnati. Next game we got the the Colts at the Jaguars. That's why I laughed a little bit. Come on now. I don't care who's their quarterback for the Colts. They're going to win this game. And if they don't, then they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Colts win this game pretty easily. I think this is going to be a score of around 34-14. I just think that the Colts, with their running game with Frank Gore and a decent defense, are going to be able to do enough to keep Jaguars off the field from scoring points and then score enough points themselves to be able to win the game with a couple passes maybe to T.Y. Hilton. And Frank Gore obviously gets it going in the running game. So we'll see what happens. Definitely going to be interesting, but I think Colts definitely win this one. Like I said, 34-14. Next game, we got the Chargers at the at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers have been so anemic, so bad. Part of me thinks that they're going to rise up this game and Philip Rivers is just going to put on a monster performance and they're going to win. But they have too many injuries, just too many things going on in that city. At least football wise, everything else is great. But I really think that I got to give it to the Kansas City Chiefs. I did not expect them to do this well when they lost Jamal Charles. I didn't. But I think that loss kind of strengthened them a little bit and made them hungrier. So I definitely think they're going to win this game, but I just think that it's going to be tight. It's going to be, because you're going against Philip Rivers, but 34-31 Chargers, or I'm sorry, 34-31 Chiefs. And, it's going to be a great game. But I think the Chiefs, the way their defense is playing, too, and just their offensive tight ends and their sets, they're going to be able to get some points up, 34-31. Next game, the Redskins at the Bears. This is definitely not one of those games. It's two anemic teams, two teams that haven't really done much in the last 5 years. I'm going with the Redskins because I think Kirk Cousins is playing better than Jay Cutler right now. Plus, they understand that if they get a win here, they control the NFC East pretty much, or for the most part. I just think that at the end of the day, the Kirk Cousins of the world is going to get it done versus Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler has not been that good. He's been more consistent now, but he hasn't been up to par. And Kirk Cousins is actually performing better than him in most aspects. Then obviously, you've got a better defense on the Redskins side, and then on offense, you have playmakers like Deshaun Jackson, which you could argue they have Martellus Bennett in Chicago, but it's not the same. And Matt Forte, it's not the same as Deshaun Jackson, that deep threat. I'm going with the Redskins in this one, 31-21 Redskins. Next game, we got the Falcons at the Panthers. I think, unlike the Warriors last night, Panthers stay undefeated. Um, I think this is definitely going to be a big game. I think the Falcons understand they need to win this game to be in playoff positioning, and if they don't, they're most likely going to be out. And the Panthers understand that they need to win this game to secure home field advantage. I think the Panthers come out on top. Cam Newton throws at least 3 touchdowns today, 200 something yards. That defense obviously will show up. Josh Norman, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. Let's go. It's gonna be great. But I think the final score. I don't know the high score one in this one. 38-31 Panthers. Next game, the Saints at the Buccaneers. Man, I like the Saints. I like what they bring to the table on offense, but on defense they're shady. And the Buccaneers are in playoff position right now, a chance to secure a playoff spot. They're gonna win this game, I think, and a tight one. But I think it's gonna be a score of 35-34. I think it's gonna be that close, 1 point game between these two teams. They historically battle each other, they play each other. Sometimes they blow each other out, but most of the time it's a closer game. I think it's going to be 35-34 Saints, or 35-34 Buccaneers. Sorry, Saints fans. I didn't mean to do that to y'all. But Buccaneers, yeah, they're going to win it today. Next game, we have the Detroit Lions going up against the St. Louis Rams. I mean that's really cool and all. I mean that's a good game, but the Rams, their defense against the Lions. I know the Lions have been on a roll lately. Don't get me wrong, but the Lions don't have a good defense, and at least what the numbers show. I'm sorry, I'm just going by numbers, and I think that on this day the Rams get the job done, even with the Nick Foles, because they have Todd Gurley. And I think that at the end of the day, he's going to get the job done, and they're going to create offensive, openings for them. Todd Gurley will, and they win this game. It's a low scoring affair, I think. 21-17, Rams, and a sloppy one. Next game, we got the 49ers at the Browns. It's another good game, man, just because I think the 49ers are hungry. Even though they don't have much to play for, they're still a good team. They still battle. I think the 49ers win this game ultimately. I just think it's one of those things where they're going with Johnny Football. He has a chance to prove himself, and I'd love to see him win. But I think the 49ers have experience on their side, and I think that's going to factor in a tight one, 24-17. Next game, we got the Seahawks at the Ravens. Seahawks, they've been on a roll too. They've been playing pretty well last couple games. I noticed the Ravens, and I'm really shaky on this pick because I think the Ravens are really going to stand up and rise up to the occasion. They're going against Seattle. I think the Seahawks win this game. I think ultimately it's going to be a tight one. I'm telling you. I think I'm predicting a score of like 27-24 because I think that's how tough the Ravens play you, and I think you really got to be on your A game when you play the Ravens because of John Harbaugh. 27-24. Russell Wilson with a big game. Raiders at the Broncos. The Raiders, they're good, but I'm disappointed. I thought they were really gonna make some noise this year after the first 5-6 games. And now they're starting to drift off, and I think the Broncos are at peak position. Obviously don't have Peyton, but their defense is definitely getting the job done, and their offense is not too far behind, not too shabby. So I think ultimately they get the job done. I'm going with a score of, let's go with 31-17 Broncos. Next game got, this is a big one. The Cowboys at the Packers. The Cowboys got some weapons, boy. They got some firepower. Dez Bryant, Jason Witten, that offensive line. But who does Green Bay have? That bad man, Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers will get the job done tonight. And I'm predicting that. I think Randall Cobb, his receivers will show up, Devontae Adams. I just think they're going to make noise. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a huge game tonight, predicting at least 3 touchdowns. I know the Cowboys' defense is respectable. I know they're good. But Aaron Rodgers is on a mission right now. They have a chance to get a bye in the playoffs. And if you think they're not aware of that, you're stupid. I think they're winning this game. Their offense is good. Clay Matthews on the defensive side and a couple of the other guys like B.J. Raji are going to show up. And I think they take it. They take it. I'm going with a score of 34-24. Sorry, guys. Computer froze. Going with a score of 34-24, Packers. And the final game of the night, I told you I'm gonna do the Monday game tomorrow. Final game of the night is gonna be the Patriots at the Texans. Usually I wouldn't laugh about that, only because I think it's actually gonna be a good matchup now. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. I think it's a test to Tom Brady, because he doesn't have his horses with him, and I think he still gets the job done. I think it's gonna be a very tight game. I think a score of 28-24 is in order. I think that Houston Texans defense is going to give him some fits now. But 28-24 because it's Tom Brady. He has Danny Amendola back. He has Scott Chandler. He has his offensive line in some order. And obviously their defense, even though it needs work, is still respectable. And of course they have Bill Belichick. So that pretty much ends my argument. But you guys have been great. This has been the Microwave Files, man. Check out some of the videos, see what's going on. I got to get out of here. Enjoy the games today, man. It's going to be a fun weekend, fun day today. It's going to be a lot of good football. Enjoy, guys.